Hey, good morning, everyone. Lisa Freed here, and welcome to this episode of Before My Morning Coffee. Today, we have some things to talk about, and what we're talking about is how our last thoughts about a person dictate how we are feeling about them. Now, what do I mean by this? It's really quite simple. Have you ever been mad at someone? So mad at someone that you didn't even want to be anywhere near them? And it took you being willing to change your mind or your perspective or your thoughts around them to even allow them near you? Or have you ever been so in love with someone that you could not imagine spending even a moment apart from them? Have you been there? I know that I have been in both places. I know that my thoughts really dictate my thoughts about a person. My current thoughts about a person dictate how I'm feeling about the entire relationship, right? So when my beloved husband leaves Pepsi caps laying around or the cat food tins laying around, and I get up in the morning and I see that, there's always a grumble, and I'm like, I get, right? And if somebody were to ask me in that moment how Chris is, my response would be generally slightly negative compared to if I woke up and the kitchen was clean and everything looked lovely and wonderful and la-di-da-di-da, right? And it's the same with if a person is your really good friend and everything is going really well and you're thinking good and wonderful thoughts about them, but then you speak highly of a person. But if you have had a falling out, maybe not quite so highly. Do you get what I'm saying here? And the same goes with our relationship for self, okay? If we're thinking loving thoughts about ourselves, if we are looking at ourselves through lenses of love and of kindness and all of this, we are much more likely to be able to have a kind and loving relationship with ourselves. But if we're oh my gosh, check out these love handles. Look at these thunder thighs. Oh, I'm so stupid. All these things. Then our ability to be kind to ourselves is definitely limited, right? And this morning when I was doing my walking through, I'm doing a Bible study with a friend of mine. There was no devotional content today. And so the question was, hey, what is your relationship with God like? No, the question is, what does God have to say to you? And that's what came to mind was our relationship, our thoughts on a relationship are how it is that we are really, truly feeling about that relationship, right? And sometimes our thoughts are just flat out liars, right? Don't believe every thought you think. So sometimes we can think, oh, I'm so disconnected from God. Oh, God never answers my prayers. Whatever it is, we can go down this huge rabbit hole and leave ourselves feeling neglected or outcast or disconnected. And really, it has nothing to do with God, and it has to do with our thoughts that we are willing to think. So today, my challenge for you is, are you ready for this? To write down some relationships in your life that could use a little maintenance. Make sure, if you're anything like me, that make sure that your own name is on there. So your relationship with self and your relationship with Source, Spirit, God, universe is on there. And I want you to spend a moment thinking good thoughts about yourself, about God, about your spouse, about your friends, about your neighbors, about your coworkers, whatever it is, just kind of jot them down And then if there's anybody that you're like, the last thing I want to do is think any good thoughts for them, see if you're ready to think some loving thoughts their way as well. And there's a metta meditation, and part of that is like, may you be happy, may you be peaceful, may you be loved, may you be free kind of thing. And this is just me paraphrasing. So if you're like, no, I do the meditation every single day and you totally botched that, probably. So feel free to chastise me on that. But just spend some time looking at where it is that you can breathe fresh and loving energy into those relationships. And the two most important relationships that you have are the ones that you have with God, Source, Spirit, Universe, Creator, and with yourself. And then branch out, right? And I know it's really easy to put ourselves at the very end of the line, but it's really important with this that it's your relationship with God, and then your relationship with yourself, and then others. So spend some time doing that today. Let me know how that feels. Let me know if it shifts anything for you. I'd love to carry on this conversation. You can leave me a comment wherever it is that you are listening to this. Send me a message on Facebook, Lisa Fried Tea, or an email, friedtealisa@gmail.com. Thanks so much for listening. I'll be back again tomorrow with another episode of Before My Morning Coffee. Sending you so very much love. Have a day as beautiful as you.